Tonight, I am once again boarding the London to Cornwall night train, but there's a catch. Now, I have taken the Penzance to Paddington night train twice now. When I last did it in January, I posted all about it on social media, and I had quite a lot of interest. Some people were interested, some people were horrified. Most people were asking me why on earth there was a night train to go about 300 miles. And the answer is it goes slow, so you get the chance to sleep. But both times I've taken this train before, I've done the bougie option where you do get your own private cabin. It's actually very nice. I've taken night trains all around the world and it is one of the best. But this time I'm going to try it in a seat only. So this is quite clearly the budget option. You only pay for your seat. You don't pay for any reservation fees on top of that. And I'm not too sure how it's going to go. So it is about 11:20 at the moment. Leaves in about half an hour's time. Now, I do have to admit, I don't quite have it in me to do the seat the whole way to Cornwall. So the last two times I've done this train, I've actually stayed in my cabin all the way to Cornwall, then I've turned around and gotten a train back to Devon, where I live. Tonight I am just getting off in Exeter. I'm not going all the way to Penzance. I will get home about 4 in the morning, but I think it will be worth it to actually get some sleep in my bed tonight. But the good news is, for you, not really for me, is that it does still go a lot slower than the day train, so I will still have about 3.5 hours to assess the night train, see what it's like, see if I can get any sleep, and let you know if this is an option worth doing. So, Penzance is looking relatively busy actually, but there's only a few more trains left tonight. This is the only night train that departs from Penzance. It's one of only 2 night trains in the entire United Kingdom. It will be the very last one. Oh no, it's not the last one to leave. There's trains to Reading after, but it is the only one with these overnight cabins. Now, as far as I'm aware, the Night Riviera always leaves from platform 1, or at least always tries to leave from platform 1, and usually you can get on it 60 to 45 minutes before the train departs. So it does look like it is ready to board now. I'm just going to have a little look at my ticket and see where I actually am on the train. This is when I'm really hoping there's a mistake for my booking and I actually have a cabin. Don't think that's the case though. All right, I don't seem to have a reserved seat. I guess I better go find it and get a seat in that case. Now, if you haven't seen my GWR Night Riviera sleeper cabin video, then I will link it at the end of this video, or it will be in the description. But it is a very luxe experience that you get. You get your own cabin or you share it with someone. The train attendant comes around and explains how everything works. It's very nice, it's very well presented. You get free tea and coffee. You can go into the first class lounge, which is just here. There's no first class on this train. It is just seats or cabins. Here are berths, 13 to 24. The blinds are all pulled down so you can't see in them. Got a bit of Cornish in there. I do love this train. This is one of probably my favourite British train, and I get a lot of trains, but I'm not sure what it's going to be like in a seat only. But it really gives you a sense of going on a journey, going on an adventure, and falling asleep in London and waking up in Cornwall. It's got a real romantic air to it. But I mean, tonight it's going to be maybe falling asleep in London, waking up bleary-eyed at 3:20 in the morning at Exeter St David's. It's not quite got the same ring, has it? Also, I'm not sure about this. Seats are in A and B, so you've got to walk down the entire length of the train, past all of the nice berths to see what you could have to get to your seat.
Get to Exeter 12 minutes past 3.
12 minutes past 3, all right.
The train does sit there for over an hour though, so
okay,
to get off.
Cool. Are any seats reserved, or is it just...
There's no reserved seats on this one.
Okay.
It's a bit emptier in the forward cabin.
In the forward cabin. Okay, thank you. So there aren't any reserved seats on the GWR Night Riviera, so it's just a free-for-all. If you are getting a seat, I do recommend getting there early. Now the seat is just across from me, empty as well, so I can show you this is what it looks like. It is slightly different to your standard GWR seat. I want to say slightly wider and a little bit plusher maybe. Don't think there's any recline. No, there's no recline. What you do have is a tray table, and then there's quite a bit of leg room, although there is no footrest. And just on the side here there is a charger, so if you're gonna want to charge things then you do need a window seat. It does seem a bit more night-like. There's curtains and the general decor is a little bit darker, but it is a train seat. You're never going to get as good a sleep as you will in the cabins, but I will put at the end of the video how much I paid for this because it can be quite considerably cheaper.
Night Riviera service to Penzance. The first book stop for this service is Exeter St David's, then Luton Abbott, Plymouth, Liscard, Bodmin Parkway, Lost Withiel, Park, St Austell, Truro, Redruth, Cambourne, Hale, St Earth, and Penzance.
Despite it being nearly midnight, I was actually really hungry, so I grabbed a yoghurt and some banana from Sainsbury's. That's a little midnight snack. So this is the toilet. It's a pretty standard, kind of old-fashioned train toilet. I can't quite remember, I'll have to watch my previous video, whether the toilets were actually that different in the sleeper cabins, but you don't get your own toilet, you do have to just use the toilet at the end of the carriage. So I normally do take off all my makeup, do my skincare, brush my teeth, even if I'm on a seat on a night train. But I have been away for a few days and I forgot to bring my toothpaste and my cleanser. I've just been using my sister's. So I'm just gonna change my top, put my pyjama bottoms on underneath my skirt because they are quite short, and then I'll at least feel the tiniest bit ready for bed. There is method in my madness, I promise. I just do strongly believe that if you get completely ready for whenever you want to sleep, you are much more likely to actually get some sleep. Now the other thing that I wanted to show you was the cafe restaurant, which they did call the buffet on the announcement. I don't think there is actually a buffet, but it might just be a walkthrough because I think it might be quite busy, but let's go find it. Oh, so there is a much bigger toilet here as well. Okay, so you can only go up to here if you're in the seats. There is a whole seating area, but that is berth customers only. So you can get crisps, snacks, drinks, all of that sort of thing, but you can only buy it there and then you have to take it back to your seat. I am going to have my magnesium, although jury's out on whether that's actually a good idea, because I do need to wake up at 3 in the morning, but it might help me get a bit of sleep. Not an ad, but I love this brand. And this is good night, I guess. Let's hope I get some sleep. Exeter. There she is, the Night Riviera. There's also a train coming in there. I don't know where that one's going. I'll definitely miss the last train to Exmouth. You can tell this is a train to Cornwall. It's got a surfboard icon on it. I didn't realise this when I've been on this train before because I've been asleep, but it does actually wait here for over an hour. That's partially why it takes so long, because it just stops at Exeter. But obviously that is to go at a slow pace so people who have cabins can sleep. I actually completely got my times mixed up, and I don't know why. I could have sworn we arrived in at 3:21. So I booked my taxi for 3:25. Anyway, we arrived in at 3:12, so still got 10 minutes. Right, I have a taxi book with Apple Taxis in 7 minutes, and they are based just outside. Yeah, I can see them there. So I will wrap this video up here. That was the DWR Night Riviera from London Paddington to Exeter St David's. It is seat. I probably would do that again. I did manage to nap, and I'm now going to get into a taxi, go straight home, take about 20 minutes to half an hour, and then get straight in bed. So to have the evening in London, I think it is worth it. However, I don't think I would do that all the way down to Penzance. I think I'd find alternative accommodation so I actually got some sleep. horizontal at some point. But that is after many years of night trains and night buses. I probably would have done that when I was a little bit younger. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you haven't checked out my GWI Night Riviera video already, I definitely recommend checking it out here. The cabins are really wonderful and I do highly, highly recommend them. I'm gonna go find my taxi now and hopefully within the next 40 minutes, I'll be in bed. Good night, bye.